Alright, welcome back to another video concerning our basic portfolio. This time we're going to be focusing on the portfolio page and the contact page. So if you remember watching from the last video, we finished our About section from the home basic portfolio. So that's where we had our About Me section, the image, so this could be an image of yourself, and just some p tags concerning, this has lorem ipsum text, but you can have things detailing like what your goals are, what you're currently working on, stuff like that. And then we have our right column. This just has links to our social media pages. So you can get these icons at Icon Finder. And here we just have our clear fix to make sure our footer is below these two sections, or the left and right column. All right, so right now our index is done, so our about page and the CSS is already done. So let's go right to here. Here you can see everything's all set up. So because the portfolio and the contact page follow the same structure, it'll be really easy since the CSS is already implemented here on the About page. So let's take a look at what it should look like, the portfolio. So the portfolio page should look just like this. So you'll have your heading with the border bottom, and you'll have these individual images concerning like if you make a rock, paper, scissors game, if you make a hangman game, if you have a RPG game, or a trivia, stuff like that. You can always add more in, and we're still going to keep our right column just so users who are visiting your portfolio will still be able to click on your social media pages. Right? Let's get started. So right now we just need to get our portfolio HTML and contact HTML. So there they are. Right. So to start with our portfolio HTML, let's just copy everything from our index.html and go straight to our portfolio page and paste it there. So, and then we're going to want to change home right here in this title to portfolio. All right, and we're still going to keep this section for left column. We're just going to change this. So the H2 tag will be portfolio, and we're just going to delete the image tag all the way to the end of the P tag. All right, there we go. So here we're actually going to create separate classes, or not classes, we're going to create divs for each portfolio, and they're all going to have their own special ID. So let's do a class of portfolio-item. So after that, we'll add in, let's make it a H4 tag, and let's call it port1, just for short for portfolio 1. Let's also give this div an ID of port 1. All right. So let's start here. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do 6. All right. So I'm just separating it because it's easier for my eyes to differentiate. But let's just port 1. So this will be port 2, port 2, port 3, port 3, port 4, port 4, port 5, oops, port 5, and port 6. All right, so now that is done, let's move on. Yep, so after that, that's all you have to do, because you're still going to keep this connect with me section, and footer's already there. So all we have to do, style. So let's get down to it. So the way I want to organize this is that I usually keep my tags together, and then I'll move down to the class and then IDs. So we have our first class, portfolio item. So I'll just put that. Yep, I'll put that right here. So portfolio item, and let's make position here relative. Oops. And let's give it a margin bottom. Let's give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels. And let's make the width 45%, because if we make it a whole 50%, the images won't be lined up correctly. So I'll show you that once we get to the page. So the width 45, let's have them float left, and let's give them a height of, say, 250 pixels. All right, so let's just go to the browser, see what's up. Portfolio. All right, so here we have our portfolio heading and port 1, port 2, all the way to port 6. So far, so good. All right, and let me just implement this. So we're gonna have our portfolio item. Let's make it the nth type. Yeah, we can make it even. Let's float this right. So because we're floating it right, let's also give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels, and let's also give, let's do border bottom of 2 pixels. Make it solid and gray. So here, when it says even, it'd be like 1, 2. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all the evens will be here. We're floating them right. So we're specifically saying these will float right. They'll have a margin bottom of 20 pixels, and they'll have the border bottom solid. So let's see. All right, they're right there. We might not need the border bottom, but I'll just leave it for now. All right, so after that we have oh, duh, no, this isn't part of it. No, we're only floating it right. There's no margin. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so now we're just going to move on to our portfolio item, our H4 tag. So let's do a background. Let's make it teal. Make the font color white. Let's align the text center. And let's give it a padding of 15 and 0. So 15 pixels top and bottom, 0 left and right. And position this absolute. Let's also give it a bottom of 15 pixels. And let's also make the width 100%. So what this 100% means is that the heading that's on the image itself, the portfolio item, it'll span across the whole image. Here, so you see this is the portfolio item, and this is the H4 tag right here. All right, so now we got to go to our IDs of port 1 through port 6. So I think I'll do it right after this. So here we have port 1. Let's do background. Let's give it a URL. Oops. Images. Coding. Let's also give it a background size. Let's cover it. Oops, not contain. Cover. And let's do background repeat, no repeat. And let's see what port 1 looks like. What happened? I don't think that's how it was before, was it? Okay, let me comment this out, save. 0, 1, well, that can't be it. I think it's the even. Portfolio dash item colon nth last of type even. It should be right. So odd. The only thing I can think of right now is just like an array, it starts at index 0. That might be it. Because odd, we're floating right. So it would be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to go with that for now. I'll write down in the description if I figure it out as well. Alright, so we changed from even to odd. Honestly, it doesn't really matter though, because these titles, port 1, it'll be the title of your game. So if you do Hangman, you just write Hangman instead of port 1. So people aren't really going to know like in the number order. So left, right, right, left, not a big deal. Alright. So now that we have our port 1 done, I'm just going to copy and paste that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. So port 2, let's change this. So that was coding. I might reuse images because it's just easier and quicker too. But I'm already here. Let's do lock. Let's do 4. Wait, this is port 5. And port 6. I think that'll be okay. Well, let's check. All right, refresh. Beautiful. So these images, they'll be screenshots or any type of generic icon you want to take place for your app, game, or just project that you've done. But looks okay. So our portfolio page is done. We have our heading. This aside section stayed the same because we did nothing to that in the, on our HTML file, and the CSS for it, it's already done. But yeah, looks good. And then when you have your portfolio, it's good to send a link to the deployed site. So you can just put an A tag around it and put a hyperlink reference with it as well. That way, when the user who's on your site clicks on the portfolio image, so say this was Hangman, they click on it, and then in the new tab, it would go to your deployed site where they can actually play the game of Hangman that you created. Now we can get started on the contact page. So CSS is done, portfolio. So now we're just going to copy the whole portfolio HTML and go to the contact page. All right, so contact, what we want to do is change here to contact me, and we're going to delete all of this. So all the portfolio items. Oops. Right, delete. And now what we want to do, we want to create a form. So let me show you what it should look like. Yeah, let's just go here. Contact. All right, so what we need, shoot. Right, what we need is this form. So our heading's just going to be really easy. We've already done that. As you can see right here, this is the heading. It'll look just like that. All we need to do is create a form and add in this button, and it should be fine. So let's get started. So we're going to use our HTML5 form tag. So form. Don't need to give it an action. And we're going to add in a label. So this label, it's for your name. So for the user's name. And we're just going to put name, colon, and afterwards, this is where we're going to add an input. And this is where the user will add their name. And let's just call it name, give it an ID, a form name, and let's also give it a placeholder. Enter name. All right, so that's it for entering your name, and now we can just copy and paste for email and message. So that's your name, email, and that'll be for message. So let's change for email here and email. Type, it's not text, it's email. And name, email, form, email. Here we can just do enter email. See if I can make it prettier. There we go. Okay, so name's done. This is the email section. Now we're going to do the message section. So this is for a message. All right, so this isn't an input. What we want for this message area is a text area. So let's just delete that, add in text area. So the name of this text area will be message, the ID, form, message. Here we don't need this. All right. So that's our contact form. So now we have to put a button. So let's enter after that. Let's add the button tag and let's do submit form. But for this button, we also want to just give it a type. Type submit. All right, so then we have our section and our right column. There we go. So let's go to our contact page. So here we have the basic form. Now we just have to use CSS to fix it up. So let's go here. And what we want to do is go back to our tags because we do have a form. All right, so we'll do it after the p tag. So we'll do form, oops, no dash, form label, and let's make the font size 18 pixels. And let's block it so they'll be on separate lines. Now after form label, we can do form input. So form input, and let's also do the form text area. Form text area. Let's make the width of these 100%. Display block it. And let's also give it a margin. Let's make it 5 pixels. Yeah, we'll do 5 pixels top, 0 right, 20 bottom, and let's do 0 left. Let's also give it a border. So the border will be 2 pixels. Let's make it solid and make it that nice gray color. And let's also give it a padding of, let's say, 10 pixels. Let's also make the font size 16 here. So 16 pixels. Okay, so that's form input, form text. So now we have to do specifically the text area. Let's give this a height of 300 pixels. See how that works. I can always make it smaller or bigger. Now we just have to do our button. So the form and the button. So let's make the background of the button that teal color. And let's also make the font color white. Let's also give it padding top and bottom of 10 pixels and left and right 20 pixels. And a margin of 10 on top, bottom, yep. All right, so margin 10 pixels top and bottom, 0 left and right. Let's make the font size, let's say 18 pixels. And I think that might be it, yeah. All right, so let's go check. So this is where a display block comes into play, but also, yeah. So you see around this submit form button, you see it has like this border that comes default with it. So now we just have to get rid of that. So let's do border none. All right, so let's check it out. Refresh. So you see no more border. Cool. All right, so there you go. You have your header, your about, this is your about page. Connect, so our section for your about me with your image that would be yourself, some text describing you, your goals, what you're learning, languages you know, stuff like that. You have your footer, your copyright. You also have your social media section to connect with. And here's our portfolio. So hangman, trivia, rock, paper, scissors, any other type of project, game, app you want to put up on your portfolio that people can see. Just don't forget your A tags here so they can go to the deployed site where they can actually use the project that you created. And your contact page. Enter your name, email, beautiful form. Looks great. All right. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, please.